Hi everyone, my name is Paul Tilley and welcome to PS2340 Organizational Behavior for the winter of 2021. This winter, everything's online, and this class has a combination of students who are based in Clarenville and students who are based across the province, across the world. I will be holding class in this, but I want people who signed up for a distance course to realize that you don't have to come to class. The classes will be posted on this website. You'll see if you take a look down this section called the news. I'll be putting slots, clips, whatever you want to call it, videos in here on a regular basis. So fear not, because the classes will be online. Okay? Now, when do we meet? For people who are live, we're meeting 4 times a week. And if we look at the schedule here that I'm going to put up now, you'll see that we meet Monday mornings, 8:30 to 9:30, Tuesday mornings, 10:30 to 11:30, Thursday afternoons, 2:30 to 3:30, and Fridays, optionally, 10:30 to 11:30. Now, I'll let you know if we are or aren't having class on Fridays. Okay? So that's the basic gist of how our class is meeting. Now, most importantly, you want to know, what is this course all about? What are we going to do? Let's take a look at the syllabus. If you look at the syllabus that I have here before you, you'll see that essentially this course is about organizations and how people operate within organizations. That's why it's called organizational behavior. So it's a study of the practical application of people, psychology, application, sociology. All of these concepts are brought together in organizational behavior. So through the use of workplace examples and analysis, the interrelationships between people and groups and organizations is going to be studied. We're going to look at organizations, organizational structure. We're going to look at things like attitudes, values, perceptions, ethics. We're going to look at how people learn. We're going to take a look at what motivates people and what are some of the things that demotivate people. We're going to look at stress in the workplace and what causes it and how it's dealt with. We're going to look at communication within the organization. How can organizations do a better job at communicating? What are some of the fall downs that organizations sometimes face with regards to communications? We're going to look at conflict in organizations, how it emerges, how it's resolved. We're going to look at group dynamics, teamwork, how people work together in order to achieve certain goals. We're going to look at decision making, how decisions are made in organizations. Leadership is a key point in all organizational behavior. What are the factors that make for good leadership, and what kind of skills do you need to be a good leader? And we're going to look at something called organizational culture, which is the feel, the touchy-feely, the more less tangible components of an organization that make it a great place to work. So those are the basic underpinnings of the material we'll be covering, okay? So that's important material because you're going to be working in the workplace, and the workplace, after all, is going to consume a lot of your living and breathing time. So you need to understand these concepts in order to better adapt to workplaces and better work within them. So let's look next at how the course is going to be evaluated. If we look at the course, there are effectively 3 major evaluation points. First of all, there is assignments, okay? What I have is really, it's one big assignment, or you can consider it a bunch of little assignments. The assignments are worth 40%, and what I want you to do in terms of those assignments is to be absolutely aware of what's going on in the world right now with regards to organizational behavior. So what I'm asking you to do is, over the next 13 weeks, you'll be expected to keep abreast of articles in the news that relate to topics that we're covering in this course. Simple as that. Your task is to find 20 news articles that are posted during the term of this course. Okay, so this is not stuff that's 30 years ago. This is stuff that's relatively now. And these articles relate, or should relate, to what we're doing now. So you need to form a relationship between what the article is asking and or talking about and what we're talking about in the course. So I want you to include the article in your assignment, or a link to the article, and tell me about the particular organizational behavior topic that's referenced there. So what are we talking about from a, what is this article? How does it relate to what we're talking about in the course, okay? So you know, I'm looking for 2 to 4 paragraph explanation that explains how and why the article relates to that OB topic. And these can be passed in individually. You can send them in as we go along, and I have a Dropbox. If you look above, you will see there in terms of communication, you will see Dropbox there, and you will look and find a Dropbox for this assignment, okay? So that you can pass them individually as we go along, or at the end of the term, the last week of the term, they're due. So that's the last week of classes, not the last week of the term, but the last week of classes. That's due. Okay, so that's the major assignment that runs right through the term, and you actually start working on that now. And I've said actually you could look at that and start working on it before you go to bed. You know, you look at an article through Facebook or something like that. Think about it related to what we're talking about in this course. Okay, now the second thing we're going to be doing is a midterm exam. Now, the midterm exam is going to be about halfway through the course, and I'll indicate where it is. And it covers the first half of the course, chapters 1 through 5. And then we have a final exam that's worth 30%, and that is an exam that covers really the majority of the material in the second half of the course. So effectively, the final exam is comprehensive, but more focused on the second half. Now, say these exams, the midterm is all multiple choice. The final exam has a multiple choice component plus some questions and answers, and you can see the breakdown of that. Okay, so that's how the course is going to be evaluated. Next, I want to take a look at the textbook for the course. The textbook for the course is Langton and Robbins, and here it is right here. I'll put up a picture of it, and you can access that online. Okay, that's a very good textbook. It's been used a lot. There should be lots of hard copies of it around if you want, but I like the electronic copy. Whatever works for you, just make sure you have it, because that book is a great book. It's nice and tidy. It covers the material we're talking about well, and it will help you in your learning experience in this course. Finally, what I want to take a look at is our basic schedule. So what I have put up here now is the schedule, and you can see that over the course of the next 13 weeks, we're going to be looking at these material items. I just, instead of pointing out the specific ideas of what we're going to be covering, I just wanted to mention some highlights first of all. Okay, the midterm. Really, we're looking at the second week in February, February 11th, around there. Okay, so that's the midterm. March 1st is a week-long winter break. It's a reading break, so it's an opportunity for you to catch up there. And the final exams are somewhere in that April period. More on that as we go through. When I find out the exam schedule, you will find out the exam schedule. Anyway, so that's an overview of what we're going to be covering. I hope that you will find the course interesting. I know you should, because a lot of the material we're covering in here relates to work, and you'll be spending a lot of time working. So thanks for joining us, and if you got any questions, you let me know. Thanks very much. Let's start the course.